This is section 4.7, and we're going to be talking about the discriminant and using the quadratic formula to solve equations. In this section, in this video, we're going to be talking about what the discriminant is and how to determine the number and type of solutions that we'll have. Okay, so let's talk about quadratic formula quickly. Okay, the quadratic formula, I can solve any quadratic equation using this quadratic formula. It's the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, the discriminant, which is underneath the square root, b squared minus 4ac, will tell me, if I calculate that number, how many answers I'll have in my problem. Now, so far, we've always had 2 answers in every problem. Well, that's not necessarily always the case. So, in this video, what we're going to be looking at is how to determine how many solutions that you have. So, in here it says finding the number of solutions using the discriminant. The discriminant, again, b squared minus 4ac. Okay? And what we're going to do is you will substitute a, b, and c. Okay, you're going to substitute a, b, and c into the expression to find a number, and then that number is going to tell us the number of possible solutions. So it says here, if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, in other words, if it's greater than 0, it has to be a positive number. Okay, so if that's a positive number, then there's going to be 2 real solutions. If when you calculate b squared minus 4ac, it's exactly equal to 0, it's going to be 1 solution. Then, if you calculate b squared minus 4ac, if it's less than 0, or if it's a negative number, then there are no real solutions. Okay, so there's 3 possible types of answers you can have. 2 answers, 1 answer, or no answers at all. No real answers at all. Okay, so let's learn how to calculate the discriminant. Let's look at number 1 here. Again, we want to use b squared minus 4ac. So what I'm going to do is label that as a, that's b, and that's c. So I want negative 3 squared minus 4 times a is 2 and c is 7. So negative 3 squared, that's negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. And then 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Well, if I take 9 and I subtract 56 from it, I get negative 47. Okay, so that number right there, is that number positive, negative, or 0? Well, in this case, it's negative. So because it's negative, this problem will have no real solutions. Okay? All right, second one. Again, you'll remember, if you remember from solving quadratics, I always have to have my equation equal to 0. So in this case, I'm going to subtract 6x and subtract 5. So I get x squared minus 6x and minus 5 equals 0. I always have to make sure I do that before I can identify my a, b, and c. Got to make sure it's equal to 0. So a in this case is 1, b is negative 6, and c is negative 5. And again, I want to plug this into b squared minus 4ac. So b squared, that's negative 6 squared, minus 4 times a is 1, times c is negative 5. Okay, negative 6 squared, that's 36. And then negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. And then 36 and 20 is 56. Now, again, as I look at that number, is that number positive, negative, or 0? In this case, it's positive. So because it's positive, I'm going to have 2 real solutions. Okay? Another example here. All right, third example on these ones. Again, is it equal to 0? It sure is. So I'm going to go A here. This is B, and that's C. So B squared, that's 20 squared, minus 4 times A is negative 4. And C is negative 25. Okay, so 20 squared, that's 400. Then I have negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Positive 16 times negative 25 is negative 400. 400 minus 400 is 0. Okay, so that number is going to tell me, is it positive, negative, or 0? This is 0, so in this case, we have one real solution. Okay, so now you can figure out with every single problem using the discriminant how to calculate the number of solutions you may have. You should be able to complete your class kick, the first part of your class kick problems.